For Sentinel.com, this is Ira Winderman with your latest Ask Ira Miami Heat mailbag. Our first question today comes from Will, who asks, why do people automatically assume Miami will not have a good season, or a respectable one? If teams like Detroit and Boston with a bunch of nobodies can make the playoffs last year, then Miami can make it this season. Will, I'll take the last part of your question first. I would say the East appears stronger than it was last season, with teams like Chicago and New York non-playoff teams making moves, and certainly Washington expected to get back into the mix. As far as your first comment, I don't know if there's any automatic assumptions with this team, and there can't be because of the Chris Bosh situation. But it's not like when you look at Hassan Whiteside and Goran Dragic and Justice Winslow, there isn't talent there. But again, those players have never played for extended periods without Dwayne Wade. Therefore, this is a team that will enter camp as a mystery. Could exit that way as well. From there, I think with the early season games against the Raptors, the Thunder, and a couple against the Spurs within the first 9 games, we'll have a much better idea of what this team is, and what this team might become. You might have to just wait until mid-November to find out. So basically, prepare to buckle up. Our second question comes from David in Fort Lauderdale, who sort of takes the half-empty approach. And he goes, how can Heat management and you really think that this year's upcoming version of the team will be able to make the playoffs? David continues, there are 12 players on this team that have either played in the D-League Europe or with numerous NBA teams. Several of these players went undrafted. As far as I'm concerned, this is nothing more than a D-League level team, a notch below an NBA team, and will be lucky to win 25 games. Okay, that's a place you could start at also. But I'd say this, again, without knowing about Chris Bosh, you just don't know who this team is. As far as the young and proven players, that's what the Heat's going to be counting on. Whether it's Tyler Johnson and Josh Richardson, or even Hassan Whiteside and Justice Winslow, those players have to mature. As far as the unknowns you cite, the likes of Derek Williams or James Johnson or Wayne Ellington, those are the players I'm not even sure they're going to be part of the rotation. Again, you could have a rotation that sets up starting with Whiteside, Bosh, Winslow, Richardson, Dragic, Tyler Johnson, Dion Waiters, and perhaps even Josh McRoberts and Beno Udrih. So really, if your greatest concern is what Pat Riley has brought in as a 10th man, then I think your concern might be misplaced. And our last question, which is sort of a statement from Lenine, he asks, Hassan Whiteside lacks speed when setting up picks or running back on defense. Well, I'd put it this way. I don't have the Sport View video in front of me, the analysis, to tell you if you make a correct point there. But what I will say is this. It's the little things like that that will be under the type of inspection that Hassan Whiteside has not had to deal with in his first season and a half with the Miami Heat. And that's what's important. Getting the little things done. The big muscle plays, we know he can block shots. We know he can slam dunk. But it's going to be the little things. I think you make a reasonable point. The focus will be on every single little thing that Hassan does. And when you're drawing the largest remaining salary on this team, still do $98 million, I think that's somewhat justified. The little things could go a long way this season for the Heat and Hassan Whiteside. Those are today's 3 questions. We'll be back tomorrow with 3 more. For SunSentinel.com, I'm Ira Winderman.